You say you throw your dreads in the camera?
Yeah. Just like, you can see these. Reload. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning. It's still not popping up on my thing.
I just now got it. Oh, mine's going to be confused between the music.
Dang it.
Okay.
One day we'll
So I'll have to read your comments.
That works.
We'll just
whenever I can get it pulled up.
Yeah. We're working on it. Sorry. I thought I was tricking our background music, and I tricked myself. It happens.
Hold on.
Forgetting me. How's your Monday?
Oh my god.
Still early. I'm getting the week started.
Okay, I think I got it.
Here we go.
Okay. Good morning. It is Disco Monday.
Yes, I could not find the disco music today, so we just got some beats. But
yeah, we're
gonna pretend.
Tried to play some disco music in the background for you guys.
Have you guys started baking and baking yet? What are you baking with? Or are you baking breakfast? What are you making us?
Yeah, what are you making us for breakfast? We're hungry.
Because I've got this weird protein shake and it's not fabulous.
Scout's here. Scout, what are you making for breakfast?
Oh yeah, she makes good
Scout's
breakfast.
like, I need to be there. Yeah, with breakfast. I have miss everybody and I'm bored and I miss you both. Oh, we miss you.
Yeah, we'll come there soon. We'll do another one with you.
Yeah. Good morning, Kristen. She didn't say good morning, but I saw her pop in.
Good morning, Mandy, Kristen, Jordan.
Everybody. Are you having a fabulous Monday morning already? Or is it like super terrible, but it's gonna be fabulous because now you're here with us and you're gonna wake me?
That always helps. At least the baking part. Waking's not always fun.
And what are you baking with? I mean, if you're smoking or you're using cannabis this morning, what is your thing?
Yes.
If you're gonna type out any strain names or anything like that in the comments, make sure you kind of space it out or
add extra letters.
Yeah, be careful how you comment. We're not busy after this. We have to go to work, Scout.
Yeah, I got a trib.
That smells good. What is that?
This is Tropicana Cookies number 2.
I knew that's what it was. It smells so good.
My
It's
favorite.
citrusy. I am about to... Oh, Kristen, look. I'm about to smoke a firecracker. If you can see that far. I don't know.
She's going to be litty kitty on the way to work.
I know, yeah. I literally have been putting them out halfway, which I don't do that. Like, I'm like a smoke until it's gone, okay? And I've been putting them out like halfway and then just saving it.
That's what I was doing with them.
Trying to make those sales, medicating with some firecrackers. Yes, because they're fire. Bomb wedding crasher. Yes, wedding crashers. Good.
I feel like any strain with wedding is usually good.
You're so tired you couldn't get the word humidifier to come out of your mouth. I'm sorry, Mandy. Mandy's husband is the one that made your tray.
Yes, I mean...
Shell got a rolling tray from Rogue Hooligan Designs, and we have to show you guys.
I'll show you the back where it says Rogue Hooligan Designs, because that's pretty dope right there.
Yes!
And then... I just love this picture of us. Taken by... this. I think Jez took this one, right?
Yeah, I think Jez took that pic for us, and it's fabulous. If you guys have any like special pictures or anything like that, and you want to have them put on rolling trays, you can have Rogue Hooligans do that. I think Mandy can probably do it with cups too, with Blue Well resins. So get with them. Hey, there's Jez. Did you take that picture?
You took that
Did you
picture,
take the
right?
hand picture? Because it's fantastic and we love it. And I'm 94% sure you did. Yeah.
Good morning, Angel. Good morning, Raymond.
Just the fridge door. What?
Oh, the description, because I was asking, because I brought up our topic.
Oh.
Is cannabis a gateway drug? And I don't know, is it a gateway to other things, or is it a gateway to the fridge?
Okay. Yes, we do want to know what you guys think. That is our little topic of discussion this morning.
We don't normally pick topics, but today we decided we're gonna.
Yeah, so gateway, cannabis as a gateway drug. I think I've heard that probably 7 million times in my life.
We still grew up in part of the edge of the reefer madness.
Right, and I think you and I kind of grew up too in more of a conservative setting, and so
yeah,
definitely probably more with us. that was like hammered into us, like it's a gateway drug, it's bad, it's
The
you're gonna start doing crack. Yes, DARE, and that's another thing because you trusted. You trusted DARE. You trusted the DARE program.
Yeah.
You got to draw things and do the things and make the posters to put all over the schools, and that's definitely where I think I probably first heard it, is that cannabis is a gateway drug from DARE, and I believed it when I was younger, before I was ever introduced to cannabis. I absolutely believed it. But now, when I hear that, I just want to kind of laugh. Like, I think it's crazy. What do you think? I want to hear what you think, and I want to hear what they think, and then I want to talk about what I think and what I heard this morning when I asked somebody about it, and I never thought about it this way before.
So, I mean, when I was younger, I mean, I definitely messed around, experimented with different things, but I never would say it was because I started with cannabis. It was purely my own choice to go try other things. I started smoking cannabis at 15, and I really feel like it's completely unrelated to anything else I ever tried. And at this point, it is completely just a gateway to my kitchen, because I will smoke a joint, go to bed, and wake up and there's like a candy wrapper at the foot of the bed that I forgot I apparently like chowed the fuck down on. Like, I found a sleeve of Girl Scout cookie wrapper, a Kit Kat wrapper. Last night it was a plate and those little, my daughter's snacks, the little breadsticks that you dip in the cheese that are probably like cancer causing.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. My kid loves those too,
They're
though.
great.
Okay. Sometimes we gotta like give a little bit, and they can just have like a couple bad things. That's good though. That's like your gateway to your friends, though, because that's one of the reasons you medicate, right? Like,
yeah. And
so
honestly, I see a lot of people get off other drugs by using cannabis, and I know people that are helping people in recovery, and they can see cannabis as mind altering, so not necessarily keeping somebody in recovery. But I've also met people that help recovery, people that are cool with the CBD part.
Yeah.
Because it's not the psychoactive. So they're still cool with cannabis in parts.
Just not
the psychoactive part. So it's really different all over the board for everybody.
I know that, I could be wrong. And Raymond, you're watching, so you can let us know in the comments. But I believe that you said that's kind of, like, that was your exit strategy. Like, and I think that's kind of one thing that you try to share with everybody, is that cannabis can be used to kind of, like, get away from those dependency issues.
And I mean, it absolutely, when I cold turkeyed myself off certain antidepressants, I went through the withdrawals, and the cannabis helped make those so much easier to deal with.
Let's see what everybody's saying here.
Yes. Morning, Jasmine.
Definitely not a gateway drug, it's a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Agreed. Sorry. Started cannabis at 12 and went through no gateways. Good morning. Hello. Alcohol is the gateway. When you smoke cannabis, it doesn't make you say, hey, I want to snort something. Alcohol does, though.
You know, I can be on board with that.
That's a valid point. Raymond, it's a gateway out of addiction, exit strategy for harder drugs. Wake and Grow one-hitters. Yeah, if you guys don't know about the one-hitters group that Raymond Storm has, he can tell you about it more if you watch his show in the mornings, Wake and Grow with him. I think he streams it on TMP, I'm not sure. He has a group, and they share a lot of, like, positive things, and they talk a lot about the using cannabis as an exit strategy. I have a drink right here. I don't know why I'm going to choke to death before I take a drink. I was trying hard not to cough, sorry. My allergies are hitting hard right now.
Same.
If you want to be in Raymond's group, I think it's probably public, and you can just go search one-hitters, but you should definitely do that.
Post the link in the comments, Raymond.
Boom, there you go. That's way easier.
And we're going to come see you soon, and you're going to be on with us.
Hi, beautiful friends. Hello. You don't think so? You tried several other things before you ever smoked.
Yes.
You blamed your parents. You started smoking because of migraines and depression, and you needed to escape them. So you were, like, trying to medicate. I mean, you knew it was going to help you medicate, and you say escape, but it's not, you're not escaping because you probably are more present when you do use cannabis because it helps dull those other things and helps, you know, take care of your other problems, and then you can live your life and be fully there. So that's good. And to know that you needed to do that before you probably had all the cannabis knowledge that you have now is great. Live for 21 minutes and just now get a notification.
Has it been that long? No. It's only been 10.
It's been 10 minutes. What are you talking about?
Don't worry.
Don't scare me like that.
Has it been that long? Wow.
Anything can be a gateway to addiction. Yeah, well, and if you have an addictive personality, or, I'm not an expert, but I would think, in my opinion, if you have addictive tendencies, or if addiction is something that's in your family for many generations, and you live in certain environments, and you can still make choices, but you are probably more prone to addiction. And so definitely, like, everything could be a gateway to addiction for you. If that, in my opinion, that's totally my opinion. Your youngest comes home from school irritated with DARE because they still list cannabis as... I thought they took it off. I thought I read somewhere that they took cannabis off the DARE, like, list.
Maybe not. Well, it might be because we're in the Bible Belt, too.
Yes. It's a plant. That's a medicine. Yes. Education. The most common gateway is neglect and depression. I would agree with that 100%. Anything and everything can be a gateway drug. Addiction should be the real concern. Schools should do a better job about teaching about addiction and the dangers of hard drugs rather than weed. Can you see? I'm like got it pulled down.
Yeah.
Okay. It saved you from opiates and anxiety meds, antidepressants, etc. Exactly, and some people still need to use other medications and stuff with cannabis, and if you need that, that's fine. That's not a terrible thing, as long as you're not abusing them. And I mean, don't abuse anything. don't do that. Gateway I love that everybody is saying that cannabis is a gateway to the kitchen. It's a gateway to the fridge. It's a gateway to snacks. Like, that's cracking me up because, like, literally everybody keeps saying it. Raymond's Storm, great grow show. That's true. Your grow shows are always great.
Yes.
You started with Ritalin, and oh my goodness. See, and I didn't know, like, your story 100%, so I think it's going to be really good to get to know you better, Raymond, and hear about that. Like, I really want to talk about your exit from addiction whenever we come out there. Do you want to read some of these? Just take it over. Good morning.
Gateway is tobacco and alcohol. Trying to quiet the effects of PTSD is a huge gateway. Absolutely. I feel that 100%.
I think with me, I don't think that cannabis was a gateway at all. Like, people don't know my life, and I don't share all of my things. But I started very, like, much younger. Like, I didn't start smoking cannabis until after I was 18. Like, I had graduated, I had moved out on my own, and, like, was doing my own thing, and then I decided to start using cannabis. But I had started taking opiates when I was in high school, and I was, like, I think I just had a lot of problems with anxiety, a ton of problems with anxiety. I think that's when it really started, and depression, and I just didn't, like, I think with my family, we were very much, you don't talk about your problems like that, like, those things, like, if your leg's broken, then they see it, and you go take care of it, and then you can talk about it, but if you're just, like, a little more stressed, and you're just a little more intense, and you're just kind of extra, like, we love you and we're here for you and everything, but go chill out. Like, you're fine. Like, it's not a real problem. Like, they can't see it, I guess, so it's not a problem. But, like, for me, my life, my head, it was just crazy. It was so, like, just too much for me.
Yeah, no, I absolutely feel that.
And I think because a lot of my family came from, like, the medical field, I, like, felt more comfortable with medications like opiates, and I just thought, like, they're safe. Like, I was stupid, and I think I was a very sheltered child, and, I mean, I'm thankful kind of that I was a sheltered child, but my mom loved me, that's why. But I felt way more comfortable with medications. So I was thinking, okay, well, if I can take this, I know this is wrong with me, so I can take this, and this is safe. Like, the doctor's not going to give people, like, something that's bad for you, or, like, the government's not going to let this thing be out there and be sold to the masses if it's going to hurt you. Like, it's safe, and, you know, I can just be smart about it, and it's okay. And I abused things because they weren't mine. Like, I didn't go to a doctor and they're like, here, take this for this. So I was abusing drugs, basically, because they were not my prescriptions, but I don't think I overused, but I should have never felt like I had to go be like that, and I had to hide, and I had to use opiates, and if I would have known about cannabis, I don't think that would have been a thing. But the opiates made me want to try other opiates.
Yes.
Like, I wanted to keep experimenting, and that was kind of the gateway for me. And then eventually I just stopped that because that's not the life I wanted to live. Like, I didn't do anything crazy or nothing, like, really terrible happened, but I stopped opiates. And then whenever I continued living life like crazy and terrible and anxious and depressed, and was not open to cannabis because I had thought it was so bad. Like, it had been such a huge, terrible thing in my environment growing up. And I think finally when I found that was great, and it was not a gateway, because I don't even want to drink alcohol anymore. Like, you know, my birthday, I was like, I don't even want to have alcohol there. Like, I love everybody that wants to drink, and I'm cool with going and hanging out with everybody that wants to drink or whatever, but it's not for me. Like, I don't want to do that. I just want to use cannabis.
Like, I literally sat at the bar at McNally's and ordered a water. Like, I don't want to drink anymore. Like, I smoked on the way there. I was cool. Like, I was good. Give me an appetizer and a water.
I don't even want to take Tylenol. Like, I have a headache. I don't want to go take a Tylenol. Like, I want to use, like, CBD, or I want to use, like, THC. Like, I think it's the opposite of a gateway. Like, it completely closed the door on all these things that I had thought were the way I was supposed to go and what I was supposed to use. And, like, oh, there's this natural thing that's not really going to hurt me as much. Like, what the hell? So that's the stop for me. Like, that closed the gate, locked that shit up. Like,
yeah, like, with all my stomach issues, like, if I try to take Tylenol, ibuprofen, that kind of stuff, I'm going to feel like I have a fiery rock for a stomach. And so that's shitty. And, like, today I woke up with a migraine, and it's so, my choices are, like, do nothing about it, or now with 788 I have the option I can do some RSO. Like,
yeah.
And I would much rather, like, have this little bit of a, like, burning plant taste in my mouth for a minute than have a fucking fiery rock stomach all day. Like,
yeah, I ranted for a long time too. Sorry guys, I really went off for a minute. Let's read the comments. Shit, you can do it. God. It's my allergies. It's totally not.
We're totally led to believe that they're safe. It's disgusting. Yes. My family's like that too. Oh, no worries. There's a pill for that. So glad we know
Exactly.
better now.
If you have like 14 headaches in a day, every day, then it's totally okay to just take Tylenol all the time. No. And then that's just a small example of like something, you know, on a small scale. And that's not an opiate, but like that's the mentality that I feel like
I went through opiate addiction in my teens after a surgery where I was prescribed opiates for 3 months straight, and they were strong ones. And I was barely heavier than I am now, like maybe by a few pounds. And it was the point, like with my migraines and stuff, like I even had opiates for that, and it got out of hand. But yeah, I'm so glad we have cannabis now. Brian says broken leg's the perfect analogy for an addict. Never knew my anxiety was anxiety because I thought you needed to have heart palpitations, shortness of breath, almost panic attack behavior. Just thought it was normal.
I just thought I was crazy. Like, I was just dramatic. Like, I was kind of always told, like, you're just being dramatic. And I didn't really understand what was going on. And then I was, like, kind of just too proud to admit, like, oh, yeah, there's totally something wrong with me. Like, this is an actual problem.
I didn't realize it was a problem until after. Like, thought it was just stupid. But mental health issues no one likes to openly discuss. We feel embarrassed, ashamed, different, not feeling like we belong. Absolutely.
That's worded perfectly too. Like, that's, your mental health should not be a taboo topic at all, ever. That's just not.
Yeah. And I think we're progressing and we are getting more open about it now. And I think that's really helping. I think we're breaking a lot of stigmas right now.
Absolutely.
We're in the age of Aquarius. We're awakening. We're opening.
If you needed your witchy tip for today, that's what it is. We're in the age of Aquarius. Absolutely. I feel like kind of people are being more open to those taboo conversations about mental health and addiction and just these stressful things that have kind of been pushed off as like not nice to talk about, and they're not pleasant. And maybe specialists here in the South. Like, so I think it's really important to have those tough conversations. I think that's why it's good sometimes we do, like, we've talked about, like, self-care, mental health awareness. We've talked about, like, sexual, what is the word? Like, basically people using sex to sell cannabis and using women to, like, sell their product and market off of their bodies, basically. And we just kind of touch on those things here, and I think that's important because we kind of get all of you guys thinking about it and talking about it, and maybe you'll go to work today and say something to somebody. Do it at lunch so you don't get in trouble, and just have the conversation, like have those tough conversations. Or even we've talked about, like, when you need help and you need to be able to reach out and you feel like there's nobody around, like, you can always reach out to anybody. You can reach out to us.
Absolutely.
Your community is here for you. The cannabis community is strong. The female community is strong. Tulsa community is strong. Like, you know, we're all here for each other, really.
And honestly, like, my inbox is always open. That's somewhat how me and Angel met. Like, she just felt like I had that energy she could open up to, and it was absolutely true. And I just fucking love her. I love you if you're still on here. And I'm so glad you did, and I can feel like I can open up to you, and that's, I love it. It's wonderful.
I was going to see if she's still on here and be like, yeah! You truly feel mental health and addiction run hand in hand. It needs to be talked about.
Yes.
Absolutely. And educate your kids. Yes, that's a thing, too, like, because I have a child, and I watch to see if he, like, has some of the same things that I had, like, because I don't want him to be, like me, like, anxious or anything like that, but definitely, talk to your children too about mental health, and let them know that they can talk to you, and if they just don't feel right or whatever, like, have that open communication with your children, your friends, your family. Like, that's super important. And call on your tribe. Know when you need to call on your tribe, because they're there for you.
They really are.
Good morning.
Well, it's about time for us to head off to work.
Yes.
During our conversation, I had a good idea for a series for some of our guests we want to have back on for repeat guests.
Okay.
So I'm going to discuss that with you off camera.
Yay!
So you guys get ready.
We might let you know sometime.
Eventually.
Have a great day, guys. We love you.